Within the context of privacy and compliance, what does the acronym ISO stand for
Yeah.
in English? Intelligence and Security Office, Information Systems Officer,
Mm-hmm.
instead of International Organization for Standardization.
Yeah. So anybody know the full form of the ISO? That is the only question. The question
Fourth
is here.
one. Fourth
So,
one.
Fourth one,
yeah. International Organization for Standard. So, sorry, correct. Question number two, please.
which tool within Azure is comprised of Azure Status, Service Health, and Resource Health? Azure Monitor, Azure Service Health,
Mhm.
Azure Advisor, Azure Dashboard.
Yeah, it's talking about the health, right? Agile status, service health, and resource health. Okay, the more it's not Agile monitoring will not be there because already an Agile monitoring is for monitoring purpose, for log purpose. Okay, it is not going to it is going to recommend you things, okay, but not that much. So yeah, Agile monitor will not be there. Agile advisor is for the another thing. Okay, Agile dashboard. The answer will be only the Agile service health. Yeah. Azure Service Health is responsible for showing the status of your Azure services. It is responsible to show you the health of your services, yeah, and your resources. It will be the Azure Service Health. Yeah, it's not a like problematic. If you would like to know, then it's a very simple thing, Azure Service Health. Okay. Yeah, question
Yeah.
number seven.
Which of the following elements is considered part of the perimeter layout of security?
Mm-hmm.
Use a firewall, separate servers into distinct subnets by role,
Mm-hmm.
keep operating systems up to date with patches,
Mm-hmm.
locks on the data center doors.
Yeah, so last one will not be there. Locks on the data center, though that is not going to be provided. That cannot be considered like a parameter for the security. Yeah. Operating system up to date and with patches that it also cannot be considered like a security. It's like your software should be up to date, right? Separate server into the distinct subnet by the role, not at all. The answer will be use firewall because firewall is
Firewall.
the very first thing. This is going to help you out to establish a security, right? You are supposed to have the authorized traffic allowed inside the network, right? So it is used for the network security purpose. Okay, got the visibility? Yeah.
Yes.
Fourth, fourth number, please.
Azure Cloud Shell allows access to the Bash and PowerShell consoles in the Azure portal.
Hmm. So Azure Cloud Shell allow to access, right? So we have seen that one option was there where we was clicking. It was asking us to access the Bash or PowerShell console in the Azure portal. It's true or false? Do
True.
you remember? Do you remember? I was
It's
showing
true.
that. Yeah, that's true. Are you able to recall? I have shown you in the Azure portal. There was an option to click on the Azure Cloud Shell. In the Cloud
Yeah,
Shell, there
yeah,
was
yeah.
option out of two options. You are supposed to choose any one of them. Yeah, so that's fine. Perfect. Yeah, it will be true. Question number six, please.
What Azure resource allows you to evenly split traffic incoming in and direct it to the several identical virtual machines to do the work and respond to the request?
Load
Mm-hmm.
Azure
balancer
Logic
or
Apps,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Read the question, no
Virtual
problem.
Network,
Mm-hmm.
Azure App Services,
Mm-hmm.
Load Balancer or Application Gateway.
Hmm. So now tell
load
me, guys,
balancer.
load balancer only, right? It is going
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
distribute the traffic in the resources, right? Answer to the load balancer. Okay. Question number six, please.
What does ARM stand for in Azure?
Yeah.
Advanced RIC Machine, Azure Resource Manager, Availability, Reliability, Maintainability, Account Resource Manager.
Azure resource manager.
Azure
And
Resource Manager.
yeah,
ARM stand for Azure Resource Manager. Correct. Okay. Question number seven, please.
why is a user ID and password sometimes not enough to prove someone is who they say they are? Some people might choose the same user ID password. Passwords must be encrypted before being stored.
Mm-hmm.
Passwords are usually easy to forget. User ID and password can be used by anyone, such as coworker, ex-employee, or hacker halfway around the world.
Hmm. So what should be the answer, guys?
Third one password are usually
Check.
easy to find.
Which one? Anyone else? See, you when you join the
Fourth one.
company, fourth one only, right? When you join the company, na, they simply say don't share your password with your colleague. Okay. They say please your password safe with you. Don't use the very simple password. Use some encryption kind of thing. Yeah. So same kind of thing is going to happen. Suppose you have shared your password with your colleague. Then the password is not sufficient to prove who are you and you are supposed to be the same person who are supposed to access the account, right? That's why we are going for third party kind of authentication. Okay. You have shared, you are sharing OTP, everything you are doing, then that is a different thing. But at least we are saying username and password is not sufficient to prove who are you and you are the intended person who are supposed to log in or not. Yeah. So answer will be the fourth one only. Got the visibility, guys? Yeah. Yeah, it will not be the third one. Yeah, it's not like easy to forget. You can do the
Why?
forget password. Yeah. So it should
Why?
be the fourth one. Yeah. Question by please.
What types of files can our content delivery network speed up the delivery of?
Mm-hmm.
PDF, videos, images, JavaScript files,
What should be there?
All.
All.
all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, the PDF will be the content delivery network, like whatever the content we would like to deliver. It can deliver majorly the videos and images, but we can also deliver the PDFs and JavaScript file as well. And question, please.
What is the service level agreement of two or more Azure virtual machines that
Mhm.
have been manually placed into different availability zones in the same region?
Yeah.
100%, 99.90,
Mhm.
99.95,
Mhm.
99.99.
So it's saying we have the different availability region within a same region. What should be the SLA here? What should be the high availability percentage?
99.99.
99.99.
Right, right. In terms of the availability zone, it will be 99.99%. Okay. I'm not saying in different regions. I'm saying different availability zone, but in same region. Yeah. Okay. Question number 10, please.
If you are a US federal,
Mhm.
state, local, or tribal government entities and their solution providers, which Azure option should you be looking to register for? Azure
Mhm.
Government. Azure is not available for government officials. Azure Public Portal.
Mhm.
Azure Department of Defense.
Okay. So, guys, if you
First,
do remember, yeah, tell me what should we answer?
Azure Government.
Okay. How do you know about it?
Like
Please.
the Azure Government has its own dedicated servers and
Right, right.
everything.
So, yeah, so while I was explaining about the regions, that point of time I just told you to some of the regions like USDA, yeah, and I sent Department of Defense, right? And I shown you some of the regions which are specific to the government only. Okay, they have some extra compliance stuff. So in that way, you can have the account for the government purpose only. Yeah. So that kind of thing is going to be happen for Azure government. If we read properly, US federal, that is also comes under the one kind of region name. If it's a US federal, state and local and tribal government entities and their solution provider, which of the Azure should option should you looking for the register first? It will be Azure government one. Correct answer. Yeah. Got the visibility, guys? If you do you able to recollect, yeah. I just explained. If we have different kind of regions in the US which are specific to the government. Okay. Okay. Question, please.
How many regions does Azure have in Brazil?
Okay. This is
4, 0, 1, 2.
mhm. Okay. So you may not aware about it, but it is two only. Yeah. In Brazil, there are two regions. No need to worry. Just we are looking into the question. Possibly it will not be the too much specific to this. Okay? But that's fine. As we are able to see the question, we are supposed to little bit higher. Okay. Should be the two regions only in the Brazil. So question number 12, please.
Where do you go within the Azure portal to find all of the third-party virtual machines and other offers?
Yeah.
Azure
So
mobile app, Bing,
Hmm.
Choose an image when creating a virtual machine. Azure Marketplace.
What should be the answer, guys? Any idea?
Azure Markets.
Azure Marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even you will go for the AWS also, any cloud provider. There will be a marketplace specific to, even you may have seen like for Android, Google Play Store is there, right? For the iPhone, like the same thing. Eclipse also, you have seen Eclipse Marketplace. If anybody is a developer here, maybe we are aware about it. So, like the third party integration is going to be available as part of the marketplace. Everywhere the same kind of name you will identify as part of the software or cloud. Yeah. Question number 13, please.
What is the concept of paired regions?
Hmm.
Azure employees in those regions sometimes go on picnics together.
Mm-hmm.
Each region in the world has at least one other region in which it shares an extremely high speed connection and where there is coordinated action by Azure not to do anything that they will bring them down at the same time.
Okay.
When you deploy your code to one region of the world, it is automatically deployed to the paired region as an emergency backup. Each region of the world has one another region, usually in completely separately country and geography, where it makes the most sense to place your backup. Like East US2 is paired with South Korea.
Mhm. So what should be the answer is last time I explained it.
Third one.
Huh? Third one. Is it
Uh,
is it third one? It is not possible, right? You are saying
Second
in the
one, no?
second
Second
one
one.
only. Yeah, yeah. It cannot be third one. You are saying in the of the world. So then what is the use of the geography, right? So it cannot be the fourth one. You cannot be go outside of the geography, outside of the company. It cannot be third one. Again, you are going outside of the country. It cannot be first one, so it will be second one only. I can understand from the second one you cannot able to identify that much clear cut information, but we are trying to eliminate what are not possible things. Then only we are able to find out which is the correct answer, right? It will be second one. The 14 number question, please.
Which of the following cloud computing models requires the highest level of involvement in
Mhm.
maintaining the operating system and file system by the customer?
Okay, so I'm saying customer need to maintain the operating system and file system. Now it's I'm talking about operating system. What should be the answer?
infrastructure.
FAS.
Uh-huh. IAS.
Infrastructure service.
IAS, infrastructure as a service, second
Uh,
option, not the third one. Right? Third one will be I'm talking operating system. So operating system means nothing but the virtual machine creation, right? And operating system will be there as part of virtual machine. That need to be maintained. Software as a service is the end product. You can't go for it, right? This is infrastructure as a service. Got the visibility, Srishti?
Hmm. Yes.
Okay. 15 number question, please.
Which of the following is not a feature of Azure Functions?
Mm-hmm.
Can edit the code right in the Azure portal using a code editor. Can trigger the function based off Azure events such as new file being saved to Azure account blob container.
Mm-hmm.
Can possibly cost you nothing as there is generous free tier
Mm-hmm.
designed for backend batch applications that are continuously running.
Hmm. So first of all, there will not be the first option because it's not like any code editor kind of thing. Yeah. So Azure function is talking about it's not a feature of Azure function. So you cannot write that you are not supposed to develop the code on top of Azure functions. Okay. You are going to keep the application, but not the going to develop the function like Eclipse or some third party software is there. So you are not developing that. It's not like a what to say workbench kind of thing, or you can not say it's kind of framework, right? The second option, it can trigger the function based on the Azure event, such as a new file being saved to the storage account block container. So it's also not kind of a storage thing, right? It's a like computing thing, Azure function. Okay. So like it's talking means you what you are going to do. It is need to be know first of all. Okay. So like as part of Azure function, you can see the like what it is first of all. So we know it's related to the like platform as a service thing, right? So what is not the correct feature of the Azure function? The correct function, like you're not going to do the backend kind of application which are running continuously. So continuously running is not the feature of the Azure function. Are you getting my point? designed to backend batch applications that are running continuously running. Continuously running is not going to be happen. What is going to be happen? Your application is going to be run for a certain amount of time. That is not the actual feature of the Azure function. Rest of the function you can anyhow anyway integrate it and use it. It's not available directly, but you can integrate it, you can use it, right? But it's not continuous running application. Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say? Yeah. Azure function is not going to help you to continuous backend your batch application data continuously running. Yes, it's for the specific time scheduling when you would like to proceed with your application execution. Yeah, everybody is fine with it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. 60 number question, please.
Application gateway contains what optional security feature over a regular load balancer?
Mhm. Okay.
Advanced DDoS protection, Azure AD, Advanced Information Protection, Web Application Firewall,
Mhm.
Multi-factor authentication.
Yeah. What should be the answer, guys? Any idea about it here? Application gateway. Yeah, contains what additional options security feature uh, over a regular load balancer. So we
Web
are
Web
application firewall.
application
Web
firewall.
application firewall.
right, correct. Web application firewall, yeah. It will be the web application firewall. We have discussed about it earlier as well. Okay, no problem. Question number 17, please.
What is the Azure SLA for two or more virtual machines in an availability set?
Yeah.
99.95,
Mm-hmm.
100, 99.99,
Mm-hmm.
99.90,
Yeah. Guys, you need to remember
99.90.
99.
nine as availability set. Just do remember it's availability
99.90.
set, not 90. 90 is for what?
99.95.
95, yeah,
9.
99.95. Now 99.92 for what? For the single instance, okay, which is running on a premium storage, that is 99.90. It, you can remember, single virtual machine will have triple nine, okay. Availability zone will have 49, 99.99%. Availability zone will have 49, but availability set will have the 99.95% only, yeah. 100% is not possible, actually. So the correct answer will be 99.95. Okay. Are you able to recall it?
Yeah,
99.99% for what purpose? 99.99% for
Availability zone.
availability
availability
zone.
zone. Yeah, 99.90
It is for a single VM.
single VM with premium storage. Okay.
Premium storage.
Single,
Yeah.
yeah, single VM cannot give you. Okay. Why I'm emphasizing this is the premium storage? What is the reason behind that?
Because
Any
they are
idea?
using SSD. SSD
SSD.
for
Which
their
kind of SSD? Premium SSD. Okay.
premium SSD.
So premium SSD having the facility to do have the recovery of your data. That's why you are able to get this much SLA. Because what did the mean by SLA? Service level agreement. I'm supposed to complete your
Service
work
level.
on time, right?
Yeah.
So premium SSD is having the capacity to provide the recovery of your data. If you talk about the standard SSD, if you talk about the HSD, they don't have the recovery of your data. How exactly the premium storage is able to provide the recovery of your data? We have heard about the disaster recovery, right? How exactly is possible to have the recovery of your data? Because they are following some copy of your images as part of the premium SSD. That is possible for them to maintain the copy of your disk in terms of failure, right? So that's
Yeah.
why the answer is the 99.95% in terms of availability zone, because as part of availability zone, you do have only single virtual machine. You're having the set of virtual machine. It can be how much? One, it should be more than one. It can be the three as well, right? We have seen. There are two terminologies, fault domain and abroad domain is there, right? As part of the availability set. Question number 18, please.
What makes estimating the cost of an unmanaged storage account difficult?
Yeah.
There is no way to predict the amount of data in the account. You are
Mhm.
charged for data leaving Azure, and it's difficult to predict that. You are charged for data coming into Azure, and it is difficult to predict that.
Mhm.
The cost of storage changes frequently.
Okay. So it's talking about the unmanaged storage. account, right? If I'm saying unmanaged, okay. If it's managed, then what should be the option? If it's managed, just forget about unmanaged. Suppose the question will be managed storage account. Then what will be the answer? The cost of the storage changes frequently, right? It's based on the how much storage you are using. But saying unmanaged, unmanaged means you are charged
Second
for the
one.
data leaving. Yeah, it's difficult to predict it because it's unmanaged, right? It's difficult to predict it. It's not even in managed form. That's why. Yeah. Okay. Question number 19, please.
What two types of DDoS protection services does Azure provide?
Yeah.
Advanced, premium, standard, basic.
Tell me, guys.
Premium and
Premium,
no.
Basic.
Standard and basic.
standard, and basic. Two options. You need to be careful. Okay. Whenever you see the checkbox, that it means why you need to choose multiple. Okay. Not only single answer. So we are supposed to give two answers because what is going to be happen? Even they are doing one fair thing here, like you are choosing any one of them out of the, means suppose two need to be chosen, right? If you are choosing the one only, na, then half marks you are going to get. Suppose this question belongs from 2 marks, you are going to get only 1 mark. Okay, even in some of the cases, whenever this was not a standard practice, somebody not going to give you the marks as well, right? That's why just be careful about it. The multiple choices there or single choices there, yeah. Okay, question number 20, please.
Why is Azure App Services considered platform as a service?
Okay.
Azure App Services is not
Mhm,
PaaS, it's software as a service. You
mhm.
can decide on what type of virtual machine it runs, a series or D series or even H series.
What do you mean by
You are
A
responsible.
series? Do you remember what do you mean by A series, D series, and S series? Guys, I have shown you the series as part of the choosing the CPU, right? We would like to keep some CPU for the virtual machine. S series for high performance, right? Do you remember? A series, D series, there was a categories of the series as part of the virtual machine creation. Let me show you, yeah? So you can recall it. No problem. Vaibhav is challenge today. Vaibhav?
Yes.
Yeah, you are very silent today. Not asking anything, not discussing anything. Okay. So how exactly we can check? See here, this is the virtual machine. Just click here. It will give you the option of create.
Create.
If I will click on the creates, okay. This is the Azure portal, guys. This was the Azure
Yes.
Cloud Shell. If you see here, it's showing Cloud Shell. Okay.
Yeah, it's CLI,
So
na, right? That
CLI,
for
yeah.
powers.
This is also known as the Azure Cloud Shell plus CLI as well. Yeah, if you come here, let me show you the CPU types here. If you see this is the standard size of the CPU, right? I'm saying like I would like to have two CPU, 8 GB of RAM, right? But we have different category of the CPU as well. If you check here, this is the different category. Like this is for general purpose, right? So I'm saying V3, V4, V2. What do you mean by numbering? V2, V3, V4. Anybody aware about it? It's a generation, right? I'm saying second generation, third generation, fourth generation here. Those are the type of the virtual machine. But if you go down little bit, it's going to show you A series, right? A series V2, best suitable for the entry level workload, development or test purpose. Yeah. S series for the high performance. Okay. And we see the D series. D is for third generation. Family sizes for the general purpose mode. Okay. So this is the type of the series. Okay. Got the question and its visibility. Okay, what do you mean by A series, B series, and S series? Yeah. Okay. Third number question, third number option, please.
You are responsible for keeping the operating system up to date with the latest patches.
Mhm.
You give Azure the code and configuration, and you have no access to the underlying hardware.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, you are not aware about the app service. What do you mean by app service? App service is kind of you can understand the it is going to be such kind of application where you are going to work on it. Yeah. So actually, it's a platform as a service only, Azure App Service. Okay, it's not a SaaS. So you have never heard about it. It's a wrong answer actually. This one is the wrong. So it's saying na Azure app is not a PaaS. It's a software as a service. No, it's a PaaS service actually. Platform as a service is there, and you can decide. So it is not the way you are going to decide anything as part of the Azure App Service, this is related to the virtual machine only. Okay. If you are going to keep your operating system up to date, that is the thing which you are going to create as part of your virtual machine. So all those two things belongs to the virtual machine only, right? You are supposed to choose the type of the virtual machine, or you are supposed to update the virtual machine. But it's a platform as a service. You are not responsible for choosing any virtual machine. What you have you are responsible for, you are responsible for the coding, you are responsible for the configuration. Okay. And you have not no access for the underlying hardware because it's a platform as a service. Got the visibility? The platform as a service applications are supposed to be totally maintained by whom? Azure. Yeah, Microsoft. They are going to maintain. So you don't have any access to the underlying hardware. It's a compute service only. You can understand it's like a Lambda function, but this is having different functionality. Lambda function having different functionality. Yeah. So Azure App Service is there, which is going to be considered as a platform as a service. Yeah. So why the Azure App Service considered platform as a service? Why? It's clear cut saying why it's considered because you have the facility. When I told you a couple of times which particular application you will consider platform as a service, which application is going to help you out to develop some product. Okay, like Java is there, which is going to help you out to develop some project here. And you have the data servers are there. We are going to generate some product. You are going to have your own data, right? You are going to generate some data. But the software as a service will not be considered as that because you are not going to do anything. Okay. Even software as a service, only configuration is there, but coding is the major part for platform as a service. So that's why you give the Azure the code and configuration, and you have no access to the underlying hardware. Got the visibility, guys? Yeah, why the app service is considered as a platform as a service. So see, if you read the question properly, na, you will get the answer of the first very means you are not supposed to have this is correct. This is not the correct answer. You will get to know very first point from very first point. Okay. Whenever you have any doubt, just read the question two times because whenever you go for the AZ-900 certification now, you will have enough amount of time to read the question two times, three times, even four times also. Okay, you can go through the options also. No need to worry about the timing while attempting the certification. Okay, even I completed within 20 minutes only. I have not taken even 1 hour of time. So within 20 minutes only, my entire examination was done. So even in case of you also, the same thing is going to be happen. You will complete your examination means you have 1 hour 20 minutes of time something, but you will able to complete it within a 20 minute only. 1 hour you will leave it. Okay, who is going because you know our answer, you understand the things. So no need to worry about it. But within 20 minutes only you will complete your exam. But still, if you are looking for some confirmation, be cool, be patient. Okay, and even you are going to fail also, no problem at all. We can register a couple of times, we can get certified a couple of times. But our achievement should be like in the one go only, we are supposed to be certified. Okay, so that's why I'm explaining this much. Okay, let's proceed for the 21. Proceed,
Select
please.
all features part of Azure AD.
Azure Active
Single
Directory. Yeah.
sign-on.
Yeah. So this is the
Yeah.
perfect feature of the Azure Active Directory. Okay, fine.
Smart lockout.
This is also we are going to
Custom
get.
band password. Custom band password list.
Yeah, this is
Log
also we are going.
alert rule.
Mm-hmm. And
Device
device.
management.
Okay, this log alert will be there or not? No, that is the part of whom? Azure Notification Hub, right? That is going to be happen from the notification side, right? Got the visibility, guys? It is going to be done by the Azure Notification Hub plus monitoring. So monitoring is going to monitor. If you have after the monitoring, if you would like to have some notification or logs, that is going to be done by those services. So single sign-on is the one of the most famous feature of the Azure Active Directory. Yeah, smart lookout also like that is also the feature and all those things. Device management as well. Yeah, no problem at all. Let's proceed. Question number 22, please.
What is the benefit of using a command line tool like PowerShell or CLI as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to the Azure portal?
Yeah. So answer should be what? I given you the answer. PowerShell and
Automation.
CLI automation. They are going to help you out to generate the virtual machine using the JSON. Okay. First you will enter the script and if your entire things are written in the script, you have to just hit, you have to use some commands and your virtual machine is going to be created. Okay. Even in terms of policy also, you already have an existing policy. You need to do the modification and apply it. So it's automation. Okay. 23rd question, please.
Which of the following scenarios would Azure policy be recommended method for enforcement?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
prevent certain Azure virtual machine instance types from being used in resource group,
Mm-hmm.
require a virtual machine to always update to the latest security patches,
Mm-hmm.
allow only one specific roles of users to have access to a resource group, add an additional prompt when creating a resource without a specific tag to ask the user if they are really sure they want to continue.
Yeah. So what should be the option, guys? Any idea? Just read the question two times. Let me know. Yeah. Try to understand question what it's asking. Tell me what should be the answer. Which of the following scenario put Azure policy is the commanded method for enforcement, right? So it can be the fourth one. Tell me, guys, what should be the option? Any idea? Just you need to apply the way of eliminating the options, right? Which option suppose not to be there? Can it can be the fourth one? Yes or no? Yeah. Bravo. Any idea? No. Actually, it will
No.
be the very first one only. Okay. It's like a, they are talking about the policy, right? Policy is what I'm just having the access of the certain resources in the virtual machine, right? I told you last time also, I would like to restrict my user of the instances or the region, right? That is the thing here we are discussing. Prevent certain Azure virtual instances type. From instances type means what? A series or D series or S series, I would like to prevent them, right? Being used in the
Very
resource
first
group.
one.
Yeah, very first one. Okay. Require virtual machine to always update to the latest security patch. No, that is not be, I'm not going to do that thing using the policy. Yeah, that is not this kind of policy is not there. You need to keep your virtual machine always up to date with the latest security patches. It's all about whenever the uh, OS developers, maybe like Microsoft is thinking they are supposed to have some new updates over the security patches, you know, right? Security patches is what? Your Android mobile is there. You're receiving the security patch or not, guys? Every 2 months,
Yes.
every 3 months, right? Sometimes it's 6 months. It depends on the which company mobile you're using. If you're using Samsung, possibly Samsung is pushing their security patch every 2 to 3 months, right? OnePlus is very, I mean, they're pushing sometimes in 6 months, sometimes in 8 months, or maybe that is the thing. So it's all about security patches update. So that is not coming under the policy, right? Only the one specific role of the user that have access to the source group. So allow one specific role. So why specific role only? So that is also not going to be happen. And fourth one will also be not there. So it will be very first one only, right? Prevent a certain Azure virtual machine exchange type from being used in the resource group. Yeah, got the visibility? Question number 24, please.
Which free Azure security service checks all traffic traveling over a subnet
Mm-hmm.
against a set of rules before allowing it in or out?
Mm-hmm.
Azure DDoS protection, Advanced Threat Protection,
Mm-hmm.
Azure Firewall, Network Security Group.
Okay, so it's all about which free Azure security service check all the traffic traveling over the subnet against the set of the rules before the allowing it or out. Okay, this is a networking specific thing. Let me tell you the visibility. So as of now, you know about the DDoS, that is the dummy traffic protection to slow down of your website, or maybe you would like to cache the server. It will not be the very first option. Okay, Azure threat protection, that is a different thing that is not specific to the what to say allowing the sources or rule set. Firewall also will not be the answer, will be the network security group. Security group, I hope so you aware about them. Security groups are extensive level security, which will having the inbound and outbound rules, yeah, which you are going to configure and you are going to let your resources know. Okay, so rules are there. Rules means port number 80 is allowed. Port number 443 is allowed. 443 means HTTPS. 80 means HTTP. Yeah. SSH means port number 22. So that kind of thing. So it will be network security rule only. Yeah. Check all the traffic traveling over the subnet. So subnet against a set of rules before allowing it do it all, right? That thing only. Just wait, guys. I got it. Yeah, guys, let's proceed. Yeah. Okay, so this is done. Question number 25, please.
In what way does multi-factor authentication increase the security of a user account?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Multi-factor authentication is more about access and authentication than account security.
Mm-hmm.
It requires users to be approved before they can log in for the first time. It requires the user to possess something like their phone to read an SMS, use a mobile app, or biometric identification.
Mm-hmm.
Third option.
Identification. It
Okay.
requires single sign-on functionality.
Okay. What should be the answer, guys? Any idea
Third
for
one.
here? Third
Third
one
one.
only, right? Yeah, third
Yeah.
one only. You're supposed to have the OTP or maybe the authentication, which is going to help you out to have the multiple authentication. Yeah, let's proceed. Question number 26, please.
What is the concept of big data?
Mm-hmm.
A small sensor or other device that constantly sends its status and other data to the cloud. An extremely large set of data that you want to ingest and do analysis on. Traditional software like SQL Server cannot handle big data as efficiently as specialized products. A
Mm-hmm.
form of artificial intelligence that allows system to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed.
Mm-hmm.
A set of Azure services that allow you to use execute code in the cloud but don't require you to manage the underlying server.
Yeah, so we have seen this particular question last time also. What should be the
Second
answer?
option. Second.
Second option, excellent. The last set of
Yeah.
the data that you want to engage and do the analysis on traditional. And then what? Then like a software like a SQL Server cannot handle the big data as efficiently as the specialized program. It will be the second option. Okay. Okay. This question, please.
What is the new data privacy and information protection regulation that
Mhm.
took effect across Europe in May 2018?
Right. European country. We have gone through this question.
GDPR.
GDPR. Yeah. What is the full form of GDPR? General Data Protection Regulation. Yeah. It's basically in Europe. Okay. Question number 5, please.
What is the concept of being able to get your application and
Mhm.
data running in another environment quickly?
Yeah.
Azure Blueprint,
Mhm.
reproducible deployments,
Mhm.
business continuity, disaster recovery, Azure DevOps.
Okay, what should be the option, guys? We have seen last time also. Okay. Another environment. Okay,
Business continuity.
right. Business
Business
continuity and
continuity,
disaster
disaster
recovery,
recovery.
right? That is the option of uh, correct. Yeah. So like for the application and the environment.
Lucky, can you just elaborate some more like on
Okay.
this option?
Okay, so actually what is going to be happen now? Like, let me give you the real-time scenario which I explained to Vaibhav and Tia as well. So actually even I can give you the real-time situation which Vaibhav is having as part of their company environment. So Vaibhav having two servers. Even every company is keeping the servers in two different locations. One is in Hyderabad location, other is Chennai location. If suppose some what to say earthquake cam or flood cam, so it will become at one of the place, right? It will not come both place at the same time. So that kind of thing where you are going to have the replication of your data, or I can say your app servers are available in two different locations. If one particular server totally goes down due to the natural disasters, then what is going to be happen? Other server is up and running, which is going to help you out to work with it. That kind of setup, which comes under the business continuity or disaster recovery program. Okay. This is also known
Okay.
as the, in terms of India, it's a regional prayer kind of thing. We have seen in India, there are three regions are there: Central India, West India, and South India. So Central India is Mumbai, okay. West India we have seen near to Pune, okay, and South India is nothing but the, I think so it's Hyderabad only. Yes, Chennai. Sorry, Chennai is there, okay. So like this, we have three different places, and we are using some regional pair. So regional pair can be also work in a one dimension or two dimension. So right now, from Central India to the South India, it's two dimension, but from West India to the Central India is one dimension only. So that kind of thing is there. So whenever we are doing the setup in terms of the some disaster recovery option, so that will come under the business continuity program. Yeah, such kind of setups. Got the visibility? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
What question, please?
Which Azure service is the recommended identity as a service offering inside Azure?
Mm-hmm,
Identity and access management, Azure portal,
mm-hmm,
Azure front door,
mm-hmm.
Azure access active directory.
Yeah. What should be the answer, guys? Any idea? It's all
Azure
about
active directory.
identity as a service, right? Azure Active Directory. We have seen last time also, right? Azure Active
Yeah.
Directory module in terms of this one, what is it? Identity as a service, right? Okay, question number 30, please.
Besides Azure Service Health, where else can you find out any issues that affect the Azure global network that affect you?
Mm-hmm.
Azure updates blog. Each virtual machine has a resource health blade. Azure will email you. Install the Azure app on your phone.
Hmm. Hmm. So it's simply like beside of Azure Service Health. Okay. Where else means that we have seen this service, which is known as the Azure Service Health. Okay. Where else can you find out any issue that affects the Azure global network that may affect you? Yeah. So what is the thing we can check that is known as the resource health blade? Yeah. So each virtual machine having a resource health blade, which is going to help you out to identify this resource is facing some issue or having some problem. It is not going to be update blog. It is not going to be email you. Okay. That is a different thing. It's talking about the service, which service is going to help you out if anything goes wrong, right? So that is the resource health blade. Install the Azure app in your phone, so it's not like that. Okay, so answer will be the second option only. Azure virtual machine has a resource health blade. Yeah, you got the visibility? Because see, whenever we are going through the entire things, now possibly each and every scenario may not be covered as part of the theoretical thing. Yeah. So that need to be covered up using the MCP questions, multiple questions. Yeah. Question number 31, please.
What does it mean if a service is in general availability mode? Anyone can use the service, but it must not be for production use. You have
Mm-hmm.
to apply to get selected in order to use that service. The
Mm-hmm.
service has now reached public preview, and Microsoft will provide support for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can use the service for any reason.
Okay. So first of all, general availability means what? Okay, it's actually what does it mean if the service is in general availability? Anybody can use the service, but it must not be for the production use. First answer is totally wrong. Yeah, it must be for the production use only, right? What is the second option? Second option is like you have to apply to get selected in order to use that service. No, you are not supposed to get selected. Okay. The service now reached to the public preview and Microsoft will provide the support for it. No, there is no support for the public preview also. So what should be the answer? Anyone can use the service for any region. Yeah, that is the general availability. For the visibility, guys, yeah, we discussed about it as
Yeah.
well previously. Okay, question number 32, please.
Which of the following is a good example of hybrid cloud?
Okay.
Your code is a mobile app that runs on iOS and Android phones, but it uses database in the cloud.
No, it will not be.
Technology that
Mhm.
technology that allows you to grow living tissue on top of an exoskeleton, making terminators impossible to spot among humans. Your users are inside your corporate networks, but your application and data are in the cloud. A
Mhm.
server runs in your own environment, but places files in the cloud so that it can extend the amount of storage it has access to.
Yeah, what should be the option, guys? Any idea? We discussed about this question last time as well, right?
Fourth one,
Fourth one only, right? You are having the servers in your premises. Most of the time, people don't want to go for any storage DB servers, no? Don't want to have any kind of license, which will be much more expensive for them. Okay, and all the time data is not active, not using. So that's why the things is like you will have the servers places on your own environment, but you are going to store the files as part of the cloud, right?
yeah.
Question number 33,
How
please.
do you how do you get access to services in private
Private.
preview mode?
Mhm.
You must apply to use them. You must agree to a terms of use first. You cannot use private preview services. They are available in the marketplace. You simply use them.
Mhm. Okay. So, guys, what should be
First
the
one,
answer? First one only, right? Anybody would like to use the private key, they are supposed to apply it. Then only they can use it, right? So you must apply and then use them. Hmm.
select the ways to increase the security of a traditional user ID and password system.
Hmm.
Require users to change their passwords more frequently. Use multi-factor authentication, which requires
Mhm.
an additional device to verify identity.
Mhm.
Require longer and more complex passwords. Do not allow users to log into an application except using company registered devices.
Mhm.
Second one.
Second one, you focus. It's like all things are important, right? You focus on this. What is saying? Select the way, increase the security of traditional user ID and password system. Require the users to change their password more frequently. It's right. We are supposed to change the password more frequently. Nowadays, it's a recommendation also. Each and every month, you are supposed to change your username and password. If you're not changing, in the 3 month of time, you may getting some prompt from the company itself. Please change your password, right? You may be face that thing, right? Are you
Yeah.
getting my point? Yeah.
Yes.
The second
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
multi-factor authentication, which requires additional devices, something like you have to verify the identity. The additional device, like you may have the mobile which is receiving the OTP, uh, and we have the some kind of authentication app which is supposed to be stored as part of the mobile, so that is also supposed to be there. Require longer and more complex password, yes. So previously what happening, people was giving the mobile number as a password, sometimes giving their only name as a password, but nowadays you may see the recommendation banking application, specifically like internet banking kind of thing, right? So you are able to see like by capital alphabet, small alphabet, numericals, special characters, all combinations should be there. It should not be less than eight, right? So that's what the third will be also applicable. What about the fourth one? Do not allow user to log in into the application except using the company registered device. Yeah, that is also another thing. You are using the company laptop only. You're not supposed to use your personal laptop for security purpose, right? Whenever it's like you would like to have the security, they're recommending you to better to use the company laptop, right? Security device. Says, right? Got the visibility? That should be the all answers. Yeah. Sometimes basic things you are able to access, but next level things you are not able to access from the company, from your personal device laptop, right? You're supposed to access. I cannot open my VDI or Citrix receiver or the Horizon from this personal laptop. I'm supposed to open from the office laptop only, right? Client, virtual machine. Question number 35, please.
What database service is specifically designed to be extremely fast in responding to requests for small amounts of data? That is
Mhm,
called low latency.
mhm,
SQL database, Cosmos DB, SQL Server in a VM, SQL data warehouse.
mhm. Okay. So it's clear cut saying if you focus low latency, right? I would like to have the low latency, means performance should be very high, right? So what database service is specifically designed to be extremely fast responding to the request for a small amount of data, a small amount of data. So a small amount of data means you are not going to have the data there. You are supposed to have references. Most of references, very small data are there. Tell me guys, any idea about it? A small amount of data warehouse is possible? Yes or no?
No, no.
No, data warehouse will not be there. That is for what? Vast amount of data, right? You are going to do some
Yeah.
processing analysis. Yeah. SQL Server in the virtual machine. So virtual machine is going to integrate it, but is not also going to have the small amount of data. So that is also not the option. SQL database, it is the independent database. It is also you can store the huge amount of data. So what is the data? Possibly you can go for that is Cosmos DB, right? Cosmos DBs are the no SQL kind of data. They don't have much data. They are maintaining their other devices where the data is going to be stay, but here the references will be available. It will be very fast. So no SQL things are being processed in a very low latency. So that is known as the Cosmos DB, right? Got the visibility, guys? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Designed to extremely fast in responding to the request for the small amount of data. Okay, I don't want to have the very high amount of data, very fast data. All these things are not good. Let's proceed. Next question, please.
What is the benefit of using PowerShell over CLI?
Yeah.
More powerful commands, quicker
Mhm,
to deploy VMs. No
mhm.
benefit, it's the same. Cheaper.
Yeah. Tell me what
Third
should be the
option.
option? Third option, no benefit. It's same only, right? Everything you are going to use.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah. Question number 37, please. We know this, right?
What is the minimum charge for having an account, Azure account each month, even if
Mhm,
you don't use any resources?
mhm,
$1, $0, negotiated with your enterprise manager.
mhm.
$200.
$200. $200.
Read the question properly.
Which is the minimum charge for having Azure.
Each account you have bill is going to be generated. It's not a free tier. Read the question properly. If you are not using a source, you are supposed to get any bill.
No, $0.
$0, right? Even in case of electricity bill, it's being applicable actually, right? If you're having the electricity bill,
Yeah.
now they are charging something like 30 rupees, 50 rupees, something they are charging. Right? Okay, that's fine. Let's proceed. Question number 38, please.
Azure charges for bandwidth used inbound to Azure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Azure charges for the bandwidth
False.
used. Yeah. What do you mean by bandwidth? Inbound. Is there any price you are supposed to pay whenever
No,
data is coming from Azure, from your on-premises? No charges at all. Inbound means coming, right? No charges for coming. So what are the charges for going? It's like
outbound.
you're entering into the zoo. We are not charging for entering into the zoo, but once we leave all the animals free, then you are supposed to pay for going out of the zoo, right? The same thing in terms of Azure. Like they're allowing you to have the free things whenever you're migrating everything from your on-premises to the Azure cloud. Okay, so your data is coming to the cloud, but whenever you would like to leave it, then leave it like it can be. Like you would like to transfer your data from one particular region to other particular region, possibly, yeah. So in terms of the region, it may be, okay, but in terms of the incoming, it is not going to be charged. Yeah, got the visibility. And is there any charge between transferring of the data from one availability zone to another availability zone, guys? Is there any charges? Yes or no? Any idea? Your data is going to be transferred between one availability zone to another any availability zone. You are supposed to charge, yes or no?
No.
No,
No.
no, yeah, because availability zones are available within a region. That's why I'm saying within a region, you're not going to charge to transfer your data from one availability zone to another availability zone. You are going to charge for the regional wise from one region to another region. Yeah, that is possible. But incoming traffic will always be free, not the outgoing. Okay, tell me question number 39.
Approximately how many regions does Azure have around the world?
Yeah.
60 plus,
Mhm,
25, 40,
mhm,
10.
mhm. So how many regions we have seen till now, Vaibhav, while we was going through the regions?
60 plus.
60 plus only. Like 54 we have seen and 6 was the thing which is supposed to be established. It will be 60
Yes.
plus only. Yeah, perfect. Question number 40, please.
In which US state is the East US 2 region?
Hmm.
Texas, California,
Hmm.
Virginia,
Hmm.
Iowa.
Hmm. If anybody know about the foreign, then only they can answer this one. Yeah, tell me. Any idea? US East 2.
No.
It's in Virginia only. Yeah, no problem at all. Close to Washington DC. Okay, which is Virginia only. Yeah, US East 2, which is near to the Washington. It's not Virginia only. Okay, no problem. Question number 51.
Windows servers use
Hello, the voice is breaking.
server. What is sorry?
Your voice is breaking. Can you please repeat again?
Yeah. Windows servers use remote desktop protocol in order for administrators to get access to manage the server.
Mhm.
Linux servers use SSH. What is the recommendation for ensuring the security of these protocols?
Yeah.
Disable RDP access using the Windows Service Control Panel admin tool. Do not enable SSH access for the Linux users. Do not allow public internet access over the RTP and SSH ports directly to the server. Instead, use a secure server like Bastion to control access to the servers behind. Ensure
Mhm.
strong passwords on your local admin account.
Mhm. Okay. So guys, it's saying Windows Server use the remote desktop protocol, which is known as the RDP protocol, in order to administer get access to manage the server. Linux server use the SSH. What is the recommendation for ensuring the security of those protocols? Yeah. So, okay, the correct answer will be the third one only. Do not allow public subnet access over the RDP or SSH, okay, that ports directly to the server. Instead, use a secure server like a Bastion to control the access to the server behind. So Bastion host, let me tell you about the Bastion host. Okay, Bastion host is one service which is going to promote both SSH plus RDP. Okay, so one kind of service. It's a very expensive service. Okay, if you're going to use it, it's going to charge you like anything. So Bastion is host is only the one service which is providing the both kind of support for the RDP also for the SSH also. So you're not going to keep anything like in the private subnet directly, okay, you are going to have the Western host first of all, okay. So what is going to be happen? Western host is there, which is going to be configured. It is going to going through the NACL. It is going through the security groups. Every security is going to be implemented. So the answer will be the third one only. Okay. Got the visibility a little bit. If once I will discuss about the networking partner, you will get much more visibility about it. But it is the Western host only. When as part of the question, if we focus, it is discussing about the both protocol RDP plus SSH. Both kind of protocols supported by only one client, which is known as the Bastion host. This is the paid service, and it is going to help you to have the access of your resources. Yeah. Got the visibility?
Yeah.
Oh, fine. Let's proceed. What is your question, please?
What is the benefit of economies of scale?
Mm-hmm.
The more you buy of something, the cheaper it is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Big companies don't need to make profit on the first product they sell you because
Mm-hmm.
they will make a profit on the second. Prices of cloud server and services are always going down. It will be cheaper next year than it is this year.
Mm-hmm.
Big companies don't need to make a profit on every
Fair.
sale.
Mm. What should be the answer, guys? Economy of
First
a
one.
scale. Scale means how much you are going to purchase. That is nothing but the very first one. Yeah. Okay. Perfect answer. Okay. Let's proceed. 43. Question number 43.
What would be a good reason to have multiple Azure subscription?
Mm-hmm.
There is one person or credit card paying for the resources, but many people who have accounts in Azure, and you need to separate out resources between clients so that there is absolutely no chance of resources being exposed
Mm-hmm.
between them.
Mm-hmm.
There is one person or credit card paying for resources and only one person who logs into Azure to manage the resources. But you
Hmm.
want to be able to know which resources are used for which client project.
Hmm. What should be the answer, guys? Only one person will work as part of the company.
First one.
First one only, right? We explained, we discussed about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Question number 44, please.
What is the maximum amount of Azure storage space a single subscription can store?
Mm-hmm.
500 GB, virtually unlimited, 5
Mm-hmm.
PB, 2 TB.
Hmm. Any idea? Any idea?
5 PB?
FTV? Are we discussing about any particular, what to say, the server here? Are we discussing about any storage server like SQL server or the
No,
Cosmos TV? No. What
no.
we are discussing about here? What we are
Azure
discussing
storage space.
in a single subscription
So,
kind of
yeah.
thing. So what should be the thing? Virtually unlimited, right? You can store the data in a different kind of DB server, but it's a virtually subscription means it will be unlimited, right? Virtually unlimited. What is the maximum amount of Azure storage space? How much is the maximum space? Like you may have some services over the Cosmos DB. You may have some data storage as part of the MySQL. Okay. Sometimes in terms of the SQL servers. So it's kind of unlimited only, right? You are not specific to the any particular virtual machine or any particular DB server. You're using whatever is much more worthwhile for you, right? Are you getting my point?
Okay. Yeah.
It's like that only. It's subscription based thing it's asking. So it's unlimited. Okay, question number 45, please.
What does it mean if a service is in public preview mode?
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
service is generally available for use and Microsoft will provide support for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can use the service, but must not be for production use. You
Mm-hmm.
have to apply to get selected in order to use that service.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can use the service for any reason.
Okay. Tell me what should be the option? It can be like anyone can use the service for any region. It's a public preview. No. Okay. Very first one. Its service is generally available for use. Okay. Microsoft will provide the support for it. Does Microsoft provide the support for the public preview?
No.
No. No. Okay. You can apply to get selected in order to use that service. Is it like that? No, that is for the private
Mhm.
preview only, not for the
Yeah.
public. What should be the answer? Second should be the answer. Anybody can use the service, but it must not be to use in production, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use it in the production. Okay, correct, perfect. So, yeah, question number 46, please.
Each person has their own user ID and password to log into Azure. But
Mm-hmm.
how many subscriptions can a single account be associated with?
Hmm.
1,
Right.
10 to 50
Hmm.
per region, no limit.
No limit. So, what should be the answer? Each person has their own user ID and password to log in into Azure. But how many subscription can single account be associated with? How many maximum subscription can be there? Tell me. There's no limit, right? There should be no limit for the subscription. You can take how much subscription you want as part of Azure, right? It's not region specific Azure. No problem at all. Yeah, it's
Okay.
unlimited. Hmm. Question number 47, please.
What Azure product allows you to auto scale virtual machines from 1 to 1000 instances and
Mhm.
also provides load balancing services built in?
So I would like to create 1,000 instances in one time. How exactly it is going to be happen?
Sorry,
Tell
Application
me.
gateway or virtual
Hmm.
machine scales.
I would like to
Virtual machine.
create. I would like to create. Yeah. What should be the answer? Hello. What
third
should be the
one.
answer? Third one only, right? Whenever you would like to create a virtual machine. So it's like what Azure product allow you to auto scale the virtual machine from 1 to 1000 instances and also provide the load balancer services to build in. That is the thing of Azure virtual machine, right? Skill set, which is known as the creating the couple of instances in one go, right? Yeah, thousands. That is the maximum capacity of the skill set. Okay. Now, next question, please.
Which of the following is considered a downside to using capital expenditure?
Right.
You must
Capital.
wait over a period of years to
Mhm,
depreciate the investment on your taxes.
mhm,
You can deduct expenses as they occur. You are
mhm,
not guaranteed to make a profit. It does not require lot of upfront money.
mhm. Yeah. What is the answer should be? Yeah, so it's like capex. What is the one of the downside time of the capex? Like you have invested the money, you're supposed to recover your money along with the time. Okay, whatever the investment you did, it's not always going to work out in terms of the project is going to be finished or something goes wrong, right? So it will be the very first answer, but it's a problematic. Like you purchase the car and you're going to you invested 10 lakh rupees and you're going to get it worth along with the time. If something goes wrong, you're not able to achieve its worth, right? Whatever the investment you did, you are going to get some advantage. So even one more thing is like it's going to be depreciate. Depreciate means value is going to be reducted. Purchase the car from the showroom, okay? So showroom having inside the showroom 10 lakh, outside of the showroom 9 lakh, 1 lakh gone, suppose, okay? On top of that, within a 1 year of time, like again 2 lakh gone, it becomes 7 lakh. Then after 3 years, 5 lakh. After 4 years, so like this, you're depreciating. Depreciating value is getting deducted with the help in terms of the capex expenditure, right? Are you getting capital expenditure? Depreciation
Yeah,
will be applicable here. So answer will be the this one. You must wait over the period of time to depreciate that investment that you have taxes. Okay, means you has been taxed also. You have been charged for it. You are paying the income tax, the same kind of tax you paid for the purchasing of the machine. Because anyhow, anyway, if you purchase something, you are going to give some GST, right? IGST, SGST, whatever you are purchasing. So that's some kind of thing. You're going to depreciate. You're going to have replies of it. Yeah. 29 number question, please.
what is the concept of availability?
Yeah,
A
availability means.
system must have 100% uptime to be considered available.
Mhm,
The percentage of time a system responds properly to requests expressed as a percentage over time. A system that has single point of failure. A system that can scale up and scale down depending on customer demand.
yeah, so it will be like a percentage of the
Second,
system that
yeah,
responds, right? To the request expressed as a percentage over the time that is 99.99% high availability kind of thing. Yeah. Question
yeah.
number 50, please.
Which of the following is not an example of infrastructure as a service?
Yeah, so infrastructure as a service, what will not be the thing? So like I can say virtual machine is an infrastructure as a service. Virtual machine skill set also infrastructure as a service. SQL server in the virtual machine also infrastructure as a service.
Azure
Virtual
SQL
network,
database.
right? So SQL database is going to work like a platform as a service. Yeah, done. This test is done from our side. If you see, we have received the 100% correct answer for each and everything, right? So we are done
Yeah.
with the second one also. Now we are going to look into the third one by tomorrow. But